Yo, stop.
Come on.
11:24.
Come on.
Is he sending for me? I don't know what them boy there so first week. I don't know. Hey.
I don't know.
If Full Man do a
1.5
podcast,
for a headline show.
Come on.
if Full Man do a podcast, it ain't gonna sound like this.
No
Yo,
way.
No way.
if you're not familiar with those lyrics, that's Chip on Ways, and that's what we're here to talk about. Chip versus Stormzy.
Finally.
Come on.
Finally.
I
Now,
am super gassed for this one. You know why?
certain man in this room clocked it from months ago. Months ago. He's sitting to my right.
Alright, cool. It's myself in it. Back on the mic.
Sit to my right.
So I'll tell you why I clocked it. Yeah, I clocked it. You know, Stormzy went to America on this press run, was saying the grime saying it's all a joke thing. No one says what they really mean. It's all a bit of a fun thing, right? And I'm sitting there going, big man, you're dissing the old culture, like you're dissing grime.
Shame on
I was
you.
mad, right? So I was like, fast forwards. I said, okay, cool. He's done this thing in America. He's done the interview. Wait, he can't speak properly. He's done that thing there. It's come back now, and I see Stormzy, Chip and Skepta and the drugs guy
Young ads.
do an album together, and Waze came out, and you know the lyrics to it.
I love Ways.
Mains.
Best hardest verse of the whole year.
Yeah. And when that came out, I was like, wait, who could this be for? But no one on Twitter was really talking about it.
Nobody.
I said, how dare you?
What was the bar? Was it about
He said, oh, you believe in God? Kill him off. That's the Holy Ghost. And I said, Jesus, this can only be from Stormzy, but no one's listening to
because
it.
nobody else in the industry talks about God.
Say you're the king of grime. You ain't been in this thing 10 years or something like that.
Yeah.
Exactly. Who's prominent who hasn't been in the game for 10 years?
I said, what did you say about the album?
He said, your album's not the music people are listening to.
A drive-in to.
A whipping to.
That's the one.
And it's true.
Skip.
Well, have you guys listened to Stormzy's album? If you like it, that's cool, but you're not really whipping to those tunes. It's pop. It's a poppy. What is it?
Heavy as the head.
Heavy as the head.
But I think
that's another bar.
and the head's
That's
coming
another bar.
off.
Yeah.
He said, what did he say?
The king saying about...
He said,
say you're the
we
king
don't
of
hear
grime.
you're we don't
king
hear
round
you're a
there.
king round here. Man will take your throne. There's only one man talking about thrones and crowns and things.
And all them things there.
It's got to be he's going at Stormzy.
And
right?
then also, this is... We skipped to a Wiley thing, but I don't want to talk about Wiley today because we can't talk about Wiley.
We can talk about,
so Wiley did that.
Get
added
demonetized,
clash.
fam.
And also,
We're not
Chip once said
monetized
to him, "You don't want smoke. You just pick and choose, right?"
Yeah.
So this means this thing's been brewing up for a while, right? So that's where we are now.
When did Waze come out?
March.
In March, and Stormzy's album
Really? What,
dropped
during
in.
Yeah.
Stormzy's album dropped in January, didn't it?
Yeah, around then or end of
Dropped in
last year.
January, and so
It was not
3
very
months
good.
after. So that came out 3 months or a couple of months after. Well, we don't know when it was written.
Yeah.
But it came out 3 months after Heavy as the Head.
Yeah.
And Stormzy used the clash. I know you didn't want to go into it, but
Yeah.
he used the clash with Wiley to promote his album because those two things coincided.
Yeah.
And
it did a little bit.
Chip is releasing a mixtape. I'm not saying anything.
I think he's using
but
it too.
He's now dropped.
Oh, yeah.
He's now dropped this clash, or he's now set pace with this clash with Stormzy with a mixtape coming out. I don't know if it's a little bit of promo, but these men seem to use their promos
To do beef.
as they should do.
That's
As they
what-
should
that's what
do.
they
get
get
beef
based
to
on.
do their
That's how
promo.
they should
is
do.
about though. That's actually what the grime. That's what I love the grime scene for. You remember Lord of the Mics? People come on Lord of the Mics, come just drop, just spray, clash, come at anyone, and then before you know it, it's just between these two men, P Money and Gets. How many? I think Gets did like what 2 tapes in clashing with P Money. Like that's actually sick.
Stay focused, bro. We're talking about Stormzy versus Chip.
Come
on, bro. Let's stay on topic because there's a lot going on, fam.
And
Come
now,
on.
And now with Chip and Stormzy, literally the storm is here.
Oh,
I
I
said
like
the
it.
Stormzy. I like that.
Stormzy,
I like that.
Stormzy has got way too big for his boots.
And Chip
Hey.
He has.
this year getting chipped away.
Nah, in fact, Chip is definitely the grime scene savior.
100%. Oh, 100%. I've been knowing this. He is, man. He just always brings it back, and he brings it back in such a way. He changes the whole weather. So,
All right.
the
So
thing is,
I want us to talk about some conspiracies.
okay,
Line up.
I got a big one.
So, what do you think
Like us.
has happened in the background to make this happen? Like, so obviously we saw the video drop this week before the 2 videos that Chip dropped with Stormzy outside Chip's house screaming the place down. Da, 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 da. So what do you think made Stormzy go outside Chip's house? Because
I think that was
never seen that before.
I think that was definitely just the Ways track, and maybe there might have been some sort of back and forth. But I don't think so, because Chip said he gave him his postcode, right? His address. So he must know that it must not be beef. Well, he must think it's not beef.
Chip doesn't think.
He wouldn't give
it.
it.
Love. He said he gave his
his number,
his
address.
Yeah, because Stormzy could have called him and said, "No, I'm not feeling this." He's like, you know what? We can talk about it in person. And then Stormzy took that and then brought 3 other dudes to the yard.
Yeah? I think it's been going on for like 5 years.
Nah, not that long.
5 years. Remember, there's this guy called Tiny Temper, right? He had beef with Chip, right?
Yeah.
Right. And on that mixtape it dropped, Junk Food. There's a track on it where Stormzy jumps on, on that track, and that track was direct shot at Chipmunk, right? Chip said I spoke to Stormzy, and he told me
it's not
he
about
didn't know.
him.
He didn't know he was going to be sending for him.
Yeah.
How do you not know man's going to be sending for you? And I think since then, Chip's had a chip on his shoulder. For real. I think Chip's had on his shoulder for real.
He said 2/3 of Peak was a Pagan's tune, so he was still cool with Stormzy for a while. And that was the Bugsy beef. Yeah. He was still, it was that Bugsy beef.
That was Bugs and Tiny.
And he said in his latest track that there's a Judas every year. This year it's you. So I don't know if
I think it's new.
Yeah, I think it's all stemmed from Stormzy's press run. Remember when on his new album he's got a song called Bronze, which you highlighted, where he starts talking about the old heads, and I think a lot of the old heads think that the love he's giving them is fake. I think he does Wiley Flow. When he first started, he was just bigging up Skepta. He's online spitting Gets verses, and I think people just find it a bit fake, and I think behind the scenes people are just not really rating the way he's moving.
But why would Waze get him so triggered?
Yeah, that's
it's
what I mean.
Would you argue that Waze is a little dig at Maya Jama? Because what I think is this, right? I do think that
conspiracy. Here we go.
Yeah, conspiracy number one. I think Waze, because even Chip said, all this over Waze and I don't know, and said something about I'm not your ex, miss me. Yeah, catch it. And I think Waze is a dig. I think Maya Jama might have used Waze to get to someone's location. Might have been Stormzy's, it might have been Chip's location or Skepta's location. I think she linked someone after Big Man got dumped, And I think people move mad after love and heartbreak and whatnot. And I think Waze means something more than we think it does.
I was looking into that. I was thinking about that.
The Waze app has been used to get to destination.
Maybe it was Stormzy that was using the Waze app to go in Georgia. Who knows? I don't know. And she clocked the Waze app. She clocked George's address and
Waze is.
But either way,
Waze means something.
Yeah, Waze means something.
Means something.
Right? That is one.
Mean something.
Another conspiracy. I'm 100% sure Skepta is gunning for Stormzy as well. 100%.
What about Gets?
Gets and Skepta.
Gets me. Yeah. I think Gets one's more just like a hungry. Gets keeps hearing these bars that Stormzy's talking about being like the best in grime, and Gets probably takes offense to it.
Yeah, he says humble yourself.
Humble yourself. But Skepta's one is way more direct because Stormzy said on I don't know what them boys there sell first week. I don't know. He's talking about Skepta's album.
Well,
that's Skepta's album as well. Yeah. And then Skepta on the track that dropped on the same day as Chips' I See Free with Gets. That dropped on the same day
and
that Chip.
They would have known that these tracks were coming out.
They knew they were dropping on the same day. On Grime Daily. They knew. So and then Skepta says, I don't care about his numbers. I don't care about what he did. All these different things that he was saying on there. He's 100% going for him as well. Yeah. And also Stormzy, when he was going at Wiley, he said, I'm the king of grime, king of grime. How is he the king of grime but on drill? Everybody knows there's only one king of grime. Or someone who at least says it. It's Skepta.
Yeah.
So I think behind the scenes, Stormzy's distanced himself from these guys.
I think it's interesting because just like a little added salt on that, Wiley came out and did a few videos, like just, I don't even know, I saw them on YouTube. But he said something like, I knew this was coming. Like, 2020 was going to get peak. He said, I tried to do it. He was like, I tried to do it, but it makes sense that Chip's doing it because he's more of your age. But I knew this was brewing. Like, I knew this was
because I think there's been the powers.
Back and laugh now. He's just going to watch back. He's just sit back and laugh.
The powers have talked and they don't like the way he's moving. Because, like, and I think I like Storms. I like the kid. I like what he stands for. I like where he's taking it. But I feel like where he's taking it.
He's very cold.
Is to make this grime scene look like we don't need you, you're not relevant. And I think that's the way he's been talking for a while. The audacity,
I think
the audacity to make a grime song with Ed Sheeran, cheeky, because you could add any other person on a grime song, really. The audacity to go sit in America, huh?
Burna Boy was on that track as well.
Well,
Own It, no?
Or London Town.
Oh, you talking about
London Town,
Okay,
the Grime tune. The audacity to sit in an interview and say, "Oh, no one in Grimes really say what they mean. It's all just a bit of a joke." You can't take kindly to that. This thing feeds people's family, and you're the voice of it. You're making it look small and irrelevant. Like, if that's why I'm eating off, then I'm angry at you right now. Do you know what I mean?
I think a lot of the frustration comes from the fact that these men have built this thing. And I was saying this in the group chat the other day, that these men have built something, but it's almost like an exclusive club that if you weren't at the cookout in 06, if you weren't in Pirate Radio in 06, if you weren't on Roman Road in 06, then you're not part of Grime. And for you to now come out and say that you're the king of Grime just because you're getting numbers doesn't mean nothing. Skepta said something about what I've done is undefeated. Yeah. He said, basically saying that my legacy can't be touched. You can't go back into 06. Doesn't matter how many numbers you get, you can't go back to 06 and do what I did on the mic.
He said what will stand the test of time as well. Yeah,
what will stand the test of time. And I think that, personally, from what I'm just alluding, like, I think because Chip is that guy who's bridged both generations, I think he's the one who probably, it makes, like Wiley was saying, it makes sense for him to go at Stormzy, but he's the one he's almost like the last one to be let into the dance.
You're right.
Do you know what I mean? Right. Like, he's the last one to be let into the dance, and he's a prodigy. Like, you can't get over the fact that this kid was spitting at the age of 16 around amongst people that were 10 years his older, but he was the last one.
Yeah.
And so when Stormzy's coming back, like, almost like coming on this, like, you know, in Matrix, like Neo, like, I'm the guy, like, I'm here, I'm the one.
He really does.
These men are like, nah, settle down. Like, we've been doing this for time, way before your time. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So, I don't even know.
This is jealousy then.
No, but this is what happens. When you're the new king, sometimes they come and say, I'm the king now. And then sometimes that brings backlash. So if he wanted to say those bars, he's just going to have to do with the backlash.
But the thing about...
Why must that be a thing? Sorry, go on.
I think the thing about Stormzy is the Grime team didn't make him king. He's been crowned king by everyone, by the mainstream, but not by the guys, and not by everyone in the Grime
By the culture,
scene.
the culture haven't embraced him. The culture haven't embraced him in the way that in the way that you would expect somebody like Stormzy to be embraced.
And that's saying something, because I'm just like, well, so this guy has actually just gotten way too big for his boots too quickly.
Yeah, but I think he was somewhat accepted. Yeah.
Initially, because I thought they saw the way that, say for example, Spades went at him, and they were like, "Raw, like, you're a backup dancer, all of that, da, 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 da." But he was on stage with Stormzy. He was on stage with all of the Grime. Because they went. It was Kanye West, wasn't it?
Kanye West with Skepta got everyone to come out.
Yeah, and he was on stage with all of them, man. So obviously, like, he was the next up, and people saw him as the next up. He linked up with Crazy Titch on his first album. He was making those connections, but I think people almost saw it was as a little bit manufactured. Like, bro, like, you're just coming, you're trying to breed everybody. I don't even know how to expect it. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like you're manufacturing these relationships just for your own gain. Like, you're not doing it for the culture. You're not doing it for the scene.
I called it. A lot of people in the scene did not want to see Stormzy, the new king, go at the Godfather. No, a lot of people didn't want to see Wiley get murdered the way that he did, and he was saying things. 100%. I know Chip for one as well. Like, some people will say Wiley's like, oh, you don't go at Wiley. You don't touch him. Jamie used to say that back in the day. It's like, you can defend yourself, Stormzy, but it's like, he like literally went at him. And then on top of that, he said, I am the king of Grime. I'm this, I'm the guy, I'm the best. And all of these active spitters. But this is what I'm saying. If you're going to do that, you have to be ready for the backlash, because it happens. Kendrick went out and did the same thing. He got backlash. Everybody, if you want to do that, you want to wear the crown, heavy is the head. Stormzy should know. So be ready.
I think it's interesting. I think a clash against Chip is probably the hardest test. I think there's two people in Gets as well. I think those two people.
You can't take Gets.
It's probably it's so hard. I don't even know if you can win.
That's what I was going to say.
I don't even know if you can win.
Even Skepta.
I think Skepta's different.
I don't. I used to think what you think,
when it comes
but
to
when I saw him do that nasty track at the Birmingham what's the guy? Devilman. I was like, yeah, no, Skepta gets. You won't be able to beat those. It'll be very. I think those and P Money. Those will be the three hardest to get out.
I think you can beat. I think you can beat P Money.
You can beat P Money.
Oh,
just
true.
make 5 tracks in a day. I like.
Okay, no, you're right. Skepta and Gets. I don't think it can be done. It can't be done.
And Chip.
No, sorry. It can be done, but those are the hardest. The people that it can't be done against is DWE and Jamie, unless you have a really good reason. I don't think you can't beef those. That's what I'm saying. If you go at them, you have to have a good reason because you've lost as soon as you send for them. Yeah. It's done.
But my thing is, I don't even know if Stormzy can defeat Chip. How do you beat him?
I don't think he can either.
This guy's been in clashes with everyone.
Ignoring him.
So his business is all over the internet already.
You ignore him. You just ignore him. That's how you
That's the only way that you can beat him. Or you send him a subliminal in the next track.
But he knows.
He will come for another. He will come.
Give him a line. No.
If Stormzy does not send for him, he knows he can never come back to this cookout you were referring to.
But you feel he wants to.
But he can go out into the pop world and make millions.
That's what he'll be
excommunicated slightly. The thing is,
that's still perfect.
Like Tiny. You see how Tiny temper is slightly moved out. We just allowed Tiny to be Tiny, but we kind of know like he's not gonna go like. And I think Stormzy could move into that direction when he's really supposed to be like Dizzy.
Do you think?
Yeah.
You think Stormzy's supposed to be like this?
Yeah, because Dizzy gets away with doing any kind of pop track.
Yeah, but Dizzy was there in the dance.
Yeah, but
so they know about this.
Yeah, but before that, Stormzy. Anytime you talk about purists talk about Stormzy, you talk about the old stuff. We talk about you know. This is what you tell me about all the him in the park and
King Man.
All of that. Yeah, that's his thing. Obviously, it's not boy in the corner. It's not boy in the corner, but he's got his place, like where he started. Yeah. But then that's gonna get erased if he doesn't. If he comes out with this.
My question is, because I see the conversation going like purist now, is what do you think Chip has done to a man to make a man get in his expensive car and drive to his gaff?
He was high. He was high, and he had these 3 goons around him who were just like, "No, that's a disrespect." No, and then Stormzy started deepening it. Then they said he gave his postcode, right? It's like, yeah.
Stormzy voice.
Yeah. I'm the most kind. He puts it into his sat nav, and they're like, "Swear, it's only 20 minutes from here. Come we go," and they got gas. I guarantee you, as soon as that woman filmed him and said, "You're rude, Stormzy," and he goes, "Tell Chip to call me in it." I know that tone. He regretted what he said. Why am I here? It was too late by that point. Now you're in it. Do
you think he was going to do badness though, or just like talk to him?
He was going to do the same thing that they did to.
Do you remember?
What's his name?
Dot Rotten.
They wanted to grip him up.
I think.
Take a photo.
Do you know what I was thinking about this the other day? Remember when we went to ACS and we got a house visit?
Yes, it's the same thing.
No, story time, story time. Story time, please.
House visit by who?
One time, there was one guy who wanted to have a house visit over events. In uni. All our before that, all of our interactions were quite hostile. But then one time it was like we just got on the phone and was just like, he came at me and said, "You actually think I hate you, but I don't. We just need to like have a conversation." I said, "I'm all down for a conversation. You should come by to Maple and we should talk this over, right? This is a conversation between 2 people. I'm not dumb because he's a liar, right? I've got my people in the house. Ollie was one of them, and then he comes over. He didn't say nothing. He comes over with 2 goons, 2 of these guys. Yeah. What's that about?
3, no?
Was it 3 of them?
3 of them, yeah.
He came over with 3 of them. He thought that he was going to come over with 3 of these guys and come to my house. I don't know what the plan was, to either intimidate me, to attack me, blah, blah, blah. So then I'm just like, yo, cool. I spot them at the door. We all go up the stairs, and these men are thinking, yeah. I open the door. I've got my own people there as well. The tone changed completely. And that was the story, basically. That's the same sort of thing. So
I know these guys.
Yeah, you know them.
You know them.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's the same thing. Stormzy should have showed up by himself. Like, or if you're going to say you went to call him before, he even showed up unannounced.
Yeah.
For me, it's beef. For me, that is beef. And we all know when you look at the lyrics.
You can go to your boys' house whenever.
With 3 strangers. And what we hear from...
Strangers is cheap, man. Not strangers to...
Yeah, but that's the point, bro. You're going to someone's yard.
And there was beef. They were fighting with Chip's brother. If you listen to the lyrics.
Yeah, something about kitchen knife. And
kitchen knife. Yeah. But he's on tag. But he's on license, so blah, blah, blah. So it was hostile. We know it was hostile.
But you weren't moving forward.
I'm sorry. Like, you cannot do that. You cannot come to man's yard unannounced with 3 other guys.
I think what happened is that he heard Waves come out and he must have messaged. No. He heard Waves come out, and then he wrote his bars for I Don't Know. He wrote his bars for I Don't Know. I Don't Know dropped, and obviously he's like, I don't know if he's coming for me. I don't know. They didn't talk in between that point.
You don't think they spoke?
He didn't speak. And then obviously Chips heard I Don't Know, and he's messaged Chip. He's messaged Stormzy like, bro, like I wasn't even going at you, you know.
No, it was definitely going at him. They wouldn't chip him back out.
I think he, because remember he's come out. He said he wasn't going at him. Like that's what people are saying on the net. That the bars were for some other guy.
Mez.
Yeah.
I think only maybe one of the. No, I think it was for Stormzy, man. But I hear that.
But anyway, I think he's messaged him and he's been like, look, the bars weren't necessarily just for you or whatever. Weren't at you. This is my conspiracy. And he said, I don't think the bars were for you. But if you think it was that deep, let's come to my yard. We'll chop it up. In fact, even if you don't want to do that, we can jump on a track together. Here's my address. All love in it. And I think Chip sent them the thing thinking, right, okay, man's probably going to come to my yard today or something, innit? Do you get what I mean? Tonight. Yeah. Next day comes, doesn't come. Next day comes, doesn't come. Stormzy's thinking, no, I'm going to catch him off guard, innit? I'm just gonna come to his yard on a just a cruddy thing. He's probably in his yard thinking, "Rah, do you know what? I'm just gonna roll up there, like he's gonna be there by himself." I'm gonna rough him up, and because I think personally, Stormzy doesn't want this backlash because he knows that if it's a back and forth thing, then it's long. Do you get what I mean? Like it's so long going like having a pen battle with Chip.
He should have done I Don't Know and just left it at that. But I can't fathom big millionaire Stormzy was going to physically fight Chip. I just can't see that.
It's about his life.
That's what I mean, and I don't think it's just over a track, bruv. It can't just be over a track.
It's not.
Think about it. Like
more.
how many MCs have gone at Stormzy, bro? Like, come on, man.
But Chip has integrity. Why would he say this is just over Waves and I Don't Know and it's not? If it isn't, Chip's disappointed.
I've got a question.
Are you telling me that Chip don't lie? Of course, he's probably lied in his bars before.
Nah, this is his thing though. How are you gonna become so confident and be lying?
Does Tion have beef with anyone? They do, don't they? They have a bit of back and forth. Yeah,
OFB, just OFB, no.
No, anyone.
Oh, as in anyone in
as an artist. Yeah, anyone in RV and all that have beef with Tion, don't they?
I don't think so.
Don't they? I feel like there was a thing there.
Well, Tottenham, innit? Like
at Edmonton. I think there's something going on.
Ain't Chip from Tottenham?
Yeah, I'm going back to where Drake, this is random, right? Drake just did a song with Eddie One, talks about going above thing called Maya Jama, yeah? And I think Maya's in the middle of this somewhere. I think in the middle of all this is Maya Jama.
He's definitely going at Stormzy.
Huh?
He's definitely going at Stormzy.
He Drake,
yeah.
I think Drake sent for Stormzy slightly.
I personally feel
I think he did.
I personally feel like...
Why is it that they've never had a song together?
I personally feel like in the background, why hasn't he had this, like you said, why hasn't he had a song with Storms? He's had a song with Dave. He's had a song with Hedy.
Or even like any interaction.
Like he's had this whole thing with Sneaky.
UK,
he's had,
Skepta.
Every single one of them, apart from Storms. Why is that? I reckon a song has been offered to Drake, or Drake has offered to do a song with Storms, and Storms has been like, "No, I'm not doing it." Remember this whole thing came out with Jay-Z
about him not rating Jay-Z. Like Jay-Z was on the song, but I didn't like it.
Just Do you know what I mean? I can imagine him turning down a feature from Drake and being like, "No, I'm not on it."
Yeah.
And Drake not taking kindly to that. Do you know what I mean?
Why does this go back to Chipmunk? I wonder. Because Skepta's quite close to Chip. So what's the conversation? Because they talk. We know that they talk on the phone quite a lot. Because it's like, you're acting mad, bro. North London Powers. Remember that skit he did? So we know those two are friends. So, and we know Skepta and Drake are boys, right? So what is going on in the background where everyone's talking and Stormzy has been identified as, let's take him off this throne that he thinks is on?
I think he's a problem child.
I know all of them are together. I guarantee all of them just watch his movements like this. Especially Skepta. Skepta will be hearing it from here and here. And Skepta just sits back because Skepta's co-signed Stormzy, but he's his own man. And he just watches his movements.
TV.
Oh, wow. Okay, let's proceed.
Yeah.
Where are we?
Yeah.
What are you saying?
I could just say the noise, sorry.
Skepta is his own man.
He's his own man, but I think they've just been watching Stormzy's movement, and it's really easy for things just to get peaked like that, man.
What do you think of his movement, Stormzy?
You were right. In those interviews, he moved mad. On Bronze, he said something about the old guys, the old geezers.
But then it goes and make Wiley flow.
He's always been going at the old people.
Yeah,
No, but at the same time, he's been paying homage as well.
Yeah. He uses their bars, he drops their bars, it does Wiley flow.
He started tweeting, he said, yeah, Drake is sick, but we need to love our own. Like, when I think about the GOAT, I don't think about Jay-Z. I think about Wiley. I think about Skepta. He used to say all these things.
I think he probably does. Like, when he went in Glastonbury, like, look at all the people that he shouted out, like, as the pioneers.
That came before him.
Yeah, that came before him.
Yeah, he always used to pay
Like,
homage.
he always does that. Like, that's his thing, innit?
Wiley says it's fake, though.
But
Wiley's
we don't know what they're doing behind the scenes. This is the thing.
Yeah.
Because
Wiley says
you
it's
can
fake.
do it. You can do it in public. But
Yeah.
if behind the scenes you're not paying man love, like you're not trying to get man on a feature, like man's extending his hand trying to get doing songs with you, and you're doing it with Ed Sheeran.
And also, that Ed Sheeran thing. Sorry,
Why?
I'll let you finish.
Do you know what I mean? Like, obviously, these men are seeing it and then, like, bruv, you're just about your peas. You're not really about the culture.
Yeah.
Which all of these, if you can see all of these men are about the culture. Every single one,
especially Wiley,
about
like
the culture, fam.
you know, I was gonna say, that Sheeran thing. Again, I'm gonna go back to this. I think the way that's played out is a bit weird to me because even Chip said on his latest song, like, ask Ed Sheeran about my pen, and Ed Sheeran once previously did a grime album with all the grime MCs once upon a time, and I think Wiley's problem with Ed Sheeran was when you needed us, we were like front and center. Take Dot Rotten made a song with you, JME, P Money, Wiley, everyone made this grime number 5, I think it's called. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Number 5 collaboration. Everyone did this, and then I feel like Ed Sheeran then became distant superstar, right? And now when he's
Ed
like,
Sheeran came through on SBTV. Let's not forget that.
It came from this. It came from the
blew
thing.
Off the scene, yeah.
So it's like now you're gone, right? And when we need you, it's so difficult to reach you. Then Stormzy
Do you reckon it is? I don't know.
comes in, and I don't think maybe Stormzy didn't have that conversation to say that we Gramsci needs you or something, and he just sort of benefited off it on his own. I don't think they
But on the
appreciate
flip
that.
side of that, does man need a co-sign from the old school?
No,
like,
fuck
why
off.
are the
Joking.
old school trying to G-check man? Do they need to?
Look, but do you remember when H, this is what I'm saying about this news, when H said the kids today don't care about grime,
This is why.
whether it's true or not, you're going to ruffle feathers. And there's some things you just don't need to say. And that's the thing. When you're popping, you feel invincible. And then when you're not popping anymore, that's when you start looking around. No one wants to be, no one's going to be there for you.
If you made millions already, you don't need no one.
That's what you said. But
You don't need no
people
one.
fall quickly, man.
No, but I think the money that Stormzy is making now is unheard of. I don't think the Gramps has ever seen it.
Unheard of, bro.
He's making
It will hurt. It
mad
will hurt
peas.
Stormzy if the scene turns their back on him. I'm not saying
Yeah,
they
of
would,
course.
but it will still hurt him. And
I think it'll
he's-
sink because you still got your rap guys and South London that are riding out for him.
Yeah.
Preps and Conan ain't going nowhere. They're supporting him to the end.
Everybody's,
Right.
even people just be lying. People from South London just there's bare bias.
All the new kids are loving. All the new kids
South
aren't
London-
going nowhere.
South London's too big,
You need to realize like the new like generation, they're doing things that the old generation can only dream of. Right? They're gone.
I'm telling you
AJ Trust
now.
don't need no one. They're gone.
No. No one's invincible. When that cool factor leaves you, it gets peak. Some people only stay relevant because they're seen as they're hard or they're gangsters. They're certified. The moment you make someone look moist, it's really hard to get them back. Chip, it actually happened to Chip.
It happened to Chip.
It happened to
about
Chip.
2 or 3 times.
Pizza Boy.
2 or 3 times.
Yeah,
The
when he
first
went back
time,
before-
Before Pizza Boy. Pizza
He
Boy.
came back to do Pizza Boy.
Pizza Boy was his revival.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
that's
Actually,
what I'm
came back. When it
came back on Pizza Boy.
with Pizza Boy, and that was from like American after the American.
But what Chip did was different. Chip left.
Yeah, he had
Chip
it's
left.
like
He
had
left
to
the
leave.
UK, bro.
He left. Yeah, he left the game.
he left the game, but people started calling him arrogant after that diss track came from, what's that boy?
Bugsy.
No,
No, the big guy. The
back in the day,
the Asian fella.
the Asian dude.
Not Asian, but the guy that was
I
like,
don't know what he is, to be fair. Sorry.
he made a chipmunk as balloon when he was
Yeah.
on Flying Eye. He did a Flying Eye thing. His
Real
name.
lyricist.
It's like political. Low key.
Low-key sent for him, and that changed Chipmunk's completely. His complete trajectory. Everyone comes to all of a sudden. Everyone starts saying,
remember that
"Oh,
too.
Chip's arrogant." I was like, "Why is everyone now saying Chip's arrogant? Oh, Chip's moist. Chip's got a big head." Blah blah blah. All of a sudden, Chip fire a lie. That was completely gone. He lost it all, and then he went to America because he was flying high. He had a number one, which at the time, what wasn't actually
Almost impossible to get.
almost impossible. He was doing the same thing. He went to LA, didn't bang, came
Atlanta.
home,
Went to Atlanta.
moist. Nobody
This
on
guy
him.
had to revive. This guy was. Remember when he came back?
Tracksuits.
This guy was
Smart
in
car.
the depths. Man was going on to Fire in the Booth.
Fire in the booth.
screaming.
Talking about GCSEs, isn't it?
Mad. Talking about GCSEs, trying to get his life back on track again.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think Stormzy will ever get to that.
He can do
can't
well.
get to that
Because
level.
let me tell you
Sorry.
this. Look at Skepta. Skepta has made so many like bad turns, right?
Yeah.
Do you know why he's able to always come back and why he can still be
Because of
seen
these
cool?
relationships.
Because the relationship that he has with the consumer forever. No one will hear that Skepta is not certified, so he can go out and do madness and he'll come back. Dizzy can go out and do bonkers and come back and give us boy in the corner. Stormzy, if he gets done out, it can go a chip way, and then he might have to build his way up. All everyone will say is, blinded by
I don't see it.
grace.
I don't see it. I'm sorry. I don't see that happening for Stormzy. Glass though. I'm talking glass. I'm talking American. I'm talking.
I don't see that, bro.
He's gone. He ain't seen nothing like this.
You know what? I agree with Andrew. No one's invincible.
I disagree.
Nobody's invincible. Look at Wiley.
Are you guys saying that
Why
he's
is it not the same
invincible? Wait.
level?
Are you guys saying he's invincible?
Yes, I'm
I think
saying
he's
that.
close to.
How is he?
Backseat.
Invincible.
Even Drake is not invincible.
I
Even
think he's
Drake
close
is not
to, bro.
invincible. Everyone's coming at him for being a culture vulture. If he didn't,
And it's still about.
But the thing is, he's banging on.
Bro,
when
and he's still
when
getting number ones.
Yeah,
Drake has
his tracks are actually banging, and he gets the right
Stormzy
people.
don't need the
need the
grime
grime
scene.
scene.
I'm sorry.
You don't need the grime
He's
scene to back him.
gone.
He does. It doesn't. This is further than the grime scene. This is
What?
the where
You're
it's
talking about
rooted.
legacy.
I'm talking about legacy. I'm talking about the black
Bro,
scene.
he's got the white people them that love him. Stormzy goes to Channel 4
Here's
today.
the problem. Do you
That's
know why
the
the white
worst
people?
bit.
You know why the white people love him?
What?
Because they believe he is certified. But do you know when there's some new whiteheads who are like, yeah, I'm into rap, or he's like, I like Stormzy. Then you know what happens? Another whitehead, maybe a little older, comes and says,
battered him.
it's not even about Stormzy. Like you kids don't even know about Skepta, and they think that because they only heard about that's not me Skepta. They don't even know old school, and they're trumping Stormzy with Skepta because they know Skepta from us scene is held in higher regards. The moment Stormzy becomes moist to us, it will trickle down to his mainstream thing. It will trickle down. The white
by
people
then,
see
it
him
would
as a
have collected-
gangster.
it
They
would have
see him as a
collected checks.
gangster.
But you need to understand, yeah.
They see him as a gangster.
Andrew, you need to
he hasn't reached that level of musicality you're talking about.
But you need to
His
understand.
music
it's
isn't
not
that good.
But it's not
His
even.
music
bro,
isn't
bro,
that
bro,
good.
But this is what I'm saying. Hold on.
What's his classic? What's the classic?
Hold on,
His
bro.
music's not
Shut
that
up.
good for that.
Shut up.
No,
Big
no,
for
no,
your
no.
boots.
It's not even bro,
Cold.
It's not even
Blinded by
about
your
his
grace.
music. It's not even about his musicality.
That's not even a grime.
It's not even about his musicality.
That's not even a grime scene.
Stormzy is doing stuff outside of music, which means that he's never gonna ever be seen in the eyes of black people or in the black gaze as to be moist. Because he's doing murky fest, he's doing murky books, he's doing murky scholarships, he's doing all of these stuff through his foundation.
People are fickle. Are you hearing what people were saying
bro.
about him? People were saying, "How can you be doing blinded by your grace, but you're shutting up to man's house?"
Yeah, but
even
that's on Twitter.
Stormzy
Bro, that's on
said
Twitter, man.
gang signs and prayer. So he's actually living his truth.
Yeah.
But people will forget these things. People will forget these things. People will forget the millions that he's given to scholarships.
You can't even use that because even you, I know you, Andrew. Yeah, you would be the first one to say Twitter don't mean anything because it's just a brush, man. So why are you using it?
I've never. Twitter does. Unfortunately, Twitter means a lot.
No.
Unfortunately, social media plays
Twitter
into this.
is like using Wikipedia as a reference, bro. Like, are you gonna submit that as evidence?
What are you talking
no, you're
about?
not.
What are you talking about? Why are we talking about Twitter?
It will never be.
Why are we talking about Twitter?
Because that's where you're getting it from.
Getting what from?
People are saying, Stormzy's turning up to thing, but he's saying blinded by your grace one day, and he's turning up to another
Bro,
man's
these
house
things
the other day.
originate from places like Twitter. Well, that's
What I'm
all it
saying
takes.
is-
When people were saying Chip was
Based on what?
arrogant,
Based on
What I'm
what?
saying
when people
is
saying
Twitter
Chip
is
was
just
arrogant,
jokes.
it's
not
from
how
the
people
same
really feel.
place.
Is that how people really feel?
Bro, this is all a game. It doesn't matter about what people really think. It's about what's out there.
Nah, man.
It's about what's out there.
To be fair, it's the game, innit? Everyone gets sent for. Everyone that's at the top, thinks at the top, gets sent for. That is the grime scene, and it has to happen. Wiley came out Stormzy, and I think that just more or less opened the door for everyone because now you got Gets, Skepta, Chip at the same time in like the space of a month going directly at Stormzy.
I think Stormzy is so much. He's at a level, where it's so hard to pull man down from that, even from a clash.
It's not hard.
I don't think
it's not hard.
A clash cannot pull him from that cloud.
I don't think he can.
I don't think
I
so.
agree with
Clash
you. I'm
can't
voting.
pull him from that cloud.
No,
Sorry.
if he responds and his response is actually dead,
Nah, it doesn't.
He can't be
mean
dead.
anything.
He can't be dead.
How do
I'm
you know
sorry.
he won't
Wait,
be
wait.
dead?
Sorry.
why can't he be dead?
Stormzy's response can't be dead. It's Stormzy.
London Town,
We're not
London
ready.
Town,
It
that
might
track
be.
was
We're not
dead.
ready.
That track
Yeah,
was
that
actually
track.
dead.
That track was dead.
It's possible.
Wait. Everyone chill.
Don't
Stormzy.
bring out still disappointed. Like
No,
Wiley
I'm
was
not talking about.
Wiley was a soft touch.
You're acting ever since Stormzy
But was that
in a
song
room.
bad?
Ever since Stormzy in
Was
a
that song
room.
bad?
What?
Still disappointed.
I love that song.
Exactly. So
Stormzy's not
what's
dead.
the problem?
Stormzy's
That can't
dead.
be your only example. You can't.
No,
That's
remember
the only example we have.
The cipher, right? Where
Cypher's
guess is in the room. He gets the mic like, "You old men are dead. Leave it to us." And the man just picking up. Everyone in the room is quiet, clapping for him. He's a bad boy on the mic. Stormzy's not dead.
No,
It's
okay.
okay. It's
No
not
one's
dead.
saying it's
So
dead.
his comeback can't be dead.
No, but now he's
No,
going
there's no
against the
comment
word
about
because-
anything. It can be dead. It
can't
can
be
be.
dead.
I don't think it will be. That's why I'm aghast for this clash because I think
It
Stormzy's
can't
going
be
to come.
dead.
Stormzy's going to come back hard.
It can't
Well,
be
of course,
dead.
it can be.
It
I'm
can't.
telling you now, when you get that whiff of moistness, if that whiff, I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm saying that he's not invincible. All I'm saying is that he's not
Okay,
invincible.
you're right.
If
But
that air of moistness comes,
do you
it's
know
brilliant.
do you know why I can't be moist? Do you know why I can't be
He
moist?
agreed.
He's drove his car to his yard. It's not the moist one. It's situation.
Thank
He's
you.
the baddest.
Nah,
He's the
thank
baddest
you.
man.
That's
He's
a
the
very
bully.
good point.
He's the
People
bully.
cussing about his Lamborghini. People
Nothing.
saying
He drove his own
waste of
car.
petrol.
Are
Don't
we
try
in a
that
place-
again.
Are we in a
drove
place
his
in
own
life
car.
now where we're cussing because that's a Lamborghini? Are we mad? He has a
got
nice car. Are we
Man's
bullying
got
him
a
for that?
Lamborghini truck.
Are we bullying him for that? Are
If
we
you
just-
know what a drive-by is, you
Stop
don't
it.
come in your whip. You don't come in your Lamborghini when you're
come in
in
a-
No, that's all chest. That's all chest.
Yeah, but
That's like Amir.
Stormzy can do that because he's got P.
wasn't-
bro.
yeah.
He's all on that Sunning Man thing.
He wasn't lurking. Man's flexing. Every time
do
he
you
flex.
know? How do you know he
Remember
wasn't?
what he said? Remember what
How
he
do you
said
know he
on,
wasn't going to go there and say
that
sorry?
Conan song.
How do you not know? How do you know? How do you know he
With
wasn't going to
goons.
go there and say sorry?
With his goons. I lie.
Stormzy,
Bro,
but
they
and
were
we
all
all
dressed
know.
up like ghosts. They weren't going to
And
say
the thing
sorry.
is that we all know that when someone rolls up to the yard or someone goes to see you face to face,
Unexpected.
when unexpected, especially when you're both like
said he was
spray
shouting in
bars,
the car park.
that's the last level. That is the
No,
last
sorry.
level.
He's the bully in this. All right.
Stormzy just took it up there to
Chip, you know, Chip has come back and
to
said,
the
"Oh yeah,
hotel.
you want to take my life? I'll go with you. Whatever wants to take my
I'll
life,
take you with you.
I'll take you with you." Therefore, Stormzy did not come on
I
a
personally think if anybody looks moist right now, it's Chip.
brother, because he's held on for this information for making man look like, oh, he's trying to, he's a bad man. If you're
I'm just
about
saying,
his life,
like if you're about
Brother,
that road life,
you
which
can't.
We know Chip
Chip
isn't,
does his thing.
but fam,
I love Chip.
Chip-
I love Chip, but Chip
always
lost
says
the.
he's lit.
I
Chip
love
said-
Chip. I love Chip. But every time it gets bad,
Why wasn't Chip
every
in
time
his
it
yard?
gets every time it gets bad, it's like, oh, I thought
why
this was
wasn't
just-
Chip in
I
his
thought
house? Why wasn't Chip in his house?
Can I just say something
to the
before we
studio
go?
making flowers.
It was
Can I say-
lockdown, fam. It's lockdown. Where is he?
Can I say
it's
something?
lockdown.
Can I say
It's quarantine.
something?
Man should have been quarantining.
He was
Where are
He
you?
was
big
there.
man?
He was there.
Where
Can
are
I
you?
say something? He was there. Another thing
He
is
was in his
this.
house.
No.
No,
Don't land quick because you guys are cut. You guys are making. I'm mad already.
Every time it gets mad for Chip, what does it go back to? I thought this was a lyrical war.
No, he never says
thought
that. He
this
never
was a-
says that. I knew you were going to say that.
just
He
'cause
never said that.
Bro,
He has never said
Just because he went school in Enfield. He went school in Enfield, yeah.
Every time
he went
lyrical
school in
war.
Enfield. He went school in Enfield.
No more
And anytime-
lyrical wars.
He went school in Enfield, yeah. And anytime you mention Chip, this
Oh, you
guy's
guys
he's
lost your
screaming and
mind.
shouting, bro.
He
Look at
said,
him.
he
He's
said,
doing
if you
arms.
want to come down to ends, come when everybody knows that you're here. He says, I'm not on balance, but if you come to me, I will handle you. He said it
wait,
many
is
times,
he saying
even
that?
on this track.
Is this Chip that got
Do I
robbed?
think that Chip's more? Do I think
I
if
love
Stormzy
Chip.
comes in,
I
he's
love
just going to
Chip.
be like, allow me?
I love
No.
Chip, but is that
What, you think,
that the same Chip that got robbed
Chip,
in?
you
that got
think
robbed-
Chip's gonna start rocking?
What question?
Yes.
What area?
Are you?
No, you
Would you
man.
not
Question.
I don't know him. I don't know him. I don't know him.
I love Chip. I
I
love
don't know
Chip.
him, bro.
You think he's that moist?
Big Mike.
Who the fuck is Big Mike? are you guys okay? You're a grown man. Another man steps to you, and then what happens?
Wait, what part of London was Chip robbed in? I love Chip, but what part of London was it robbed? This chain and I think it might have been his own area in North London where he was robbed.
Don't
Just
act like
saying.
that's not mad because people get killed in their own ends all the time.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Imagine-
So all this talk
It's
about
true.
coming when there's people there, isn't the same people that
I don't know. This thing is, I don't know Chip. I don't know what he's about. I don't know if he's
I
on
met Chip
anything.
once. Cool guy.
All I've seen is Storms turn up to a yard and
You
you
weren't
didn't
there.
you didn't
In
return the
lockdown.
same energy.
And
That's all I know.
then you're dropping video like
That's all I know,
Look at
fam.
this guy trying to. You're making like. Are you seeing what Lippy was saying? I can't. It rings true a little bit where
If you're
you're making Stormzy out to be the bad guy in this. But Chip, we know you, bro. You done something to my man to make
you
him
must
angry.
have run man
so
up, bro.
let Stormzy say his side of the story.
Yeah,
then.
well,
That's
wait,
it.
I'm just saying.
That's
And
what
this
we're
is
ending.
Lippy
this is
chat.
what-
Lippy, please don't tell.
And
Lippy
this-
chats a lot of shit.
He does.
Lippy just chats shit
But that's-
24/7.
He even says it himself anyway.
Yeah, but that's his job.
Exactly.
That's what pays him.
But my thing is, yeah, if you're really about it, yeah, if someone turns up to your yard, you're going back to the
Someone
yard.
calls you. You're
going
coming
back
there.
to
Now
the
tell him
yard.
to wait for me right there. I'm there.
I'm coming.
What?
I'm coming.
Big Mac and Mike. I'm coming.
Don't call no one.
I'm
Don't
coming.
call no friends.
Well, Big Mac.
I'm coming home.
That's my
now.
younger. I'm coming.
I'm coming home now.
That's my younger.
I'm
Little
gonna
man.
rock, man. He's come to my yard, you know.
It's true, especially if you have family in the yard as well.
Bruv, I don't know where Stormzy lives, but it's not Essex.
Chip knows where he lives.
Yeah,
He's
Chip knows where
driven
he lives.
all the way to Essex to go and buck man in his house. And what? Man's hiding somewhere, not releasing the
Yeah,
video,
you know what
and
the
then responding 3 months
The
later.
thing is though,
before
you're
he
moving on
drops
a
his
pride
mixtape.
thing.
I'm just
You're
saying.
moving on a pride thing though.
You have to.
That's a pride thing.
You have to.
You
What
don't
else
have
is
to.
there?
But then on the
You're a grown man. You don't have to do that.
But on the flip
you don't
side-
have to do that. You can make it work for yourself if you want to.
On the flip side, Chip.
I'm not
get
saying
your-
I would have done
Chip,
that.
Get your money in it
your
because
money.
at the end of the day,
I'm loving this, by the way.
at the end of the day,
we're
you know
just
you can.
talking.
This
as
is
fans.
gold. This
As
is gold.
fans. We're
Stormzy
talking as
turns that
fans.
up at your house.
Stormzy,
Yeah.
it's also stupid of
When
Stormzy to
when
do that.
when does Stormzy turn up at anyone's
Gang
house?
signs, bro.
Apart to paint people's
Gang
yards.
signs, then prayer.
Apart to paint people's yards.
It's gang signs.
Turns up at people's houses.
We try to say call. Tell him to call me. Like I can't call you.
Yeah.
Tell him to call me.
That is wild.
Cause hey, Big Mike, you know, Big Mike.
That's the
the
thing
most
for me.
paid.
The most paid, the most sold, and I still get love from all of the G's. Like, but
That's what I don't get. That's what
If
I
it's
don't
me-
get.
if it's-
deeper. It's deeper. It's definitely
It's
deeper.
definitely
I don't know.
And we need to hear what Stormzy's got to say.
Before we go on this one, what's your money on? Bolly?
Chip, man.
What's your money on?
Skepta and Gets.
What round? In what round? Straight away?
I
or-
don't even. I think it's going to be a pretty even thing, but I think you can't defeat Chip. In the
So
sense
what
that-
round does he take? Does he take it straight away, or when does he take it?
I honestly don't know. It depends how Storms comes, innit?
Stormzy's smart, man. He's got to have something.
But I don't know how you beat Storm. I don't know how you beat Chip. It's hard. It's so
You
hard.
break his jaw, make sure he doesn't rap.
That's almost the
joking.
other way.
Don't do that. I'm not promoting violence.
I'm not even saying that on a lyrical. I'm not even saying that on a lyrical. I'm not even saying that on a lyrical thing because I know that Stormzy can come on a bar thing which will be comparable. It's only the purists that we hear like the rhyme patterns and all that kind of stuff. Everybody else will just hear what man's
point,
saying
punchlines.
and the punchlines and be like, oh, do you know what? Storms came hard there. So for me, I think it will be actually pretty level pegging.
I think
it's hard to beat Chip because Chip just comes at you with volume and he comes at you with.
He's relentless.
Like
It's
it's just so much, bruv. Like, and it's difficult to beat, man. Like,
Because
especially
some were
how man's
arguing
come out
that,
right now.
like in round 1, 2, 3 of the Bugsy fight, that it was going back and forth. Some would argue that Bugsy when Chip went to
and
Bugsy, like
Chip-
Chip dropped that. Bugsy
didn't
didn't get battered.
he didn't,
He didn't get battered.
he got beaten, and
He got beaten, but he didn't get battered.
Remember, Chip didn't respond
Remember
for
that?
6 months, and then when he did respond, he responded and just finished.
But he didn't get battered.
finished the whole thing.
Bugsy didn't get battered. Bugsy won out of it.
He's got more followers and more listens and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. So.
Watch this.
Yeah, even for me, I think definitely it's gonna go to Chip. Definitely.
Chip-
And
I
Chip
think
wins
Chip.
it.
I think
Chip
Chip's
wins
just drawing him out.
And I-
Chip's got something up his sleeve.
Yeah, and I think he may just like prolong it and probably take him to like the 4th or 5th round.
Okay.
Fourth or
Do you think
fifth track.
Do you think Stormzy had pre-writtens for Chip?
Yeah, I think so. I think it has facts and numbers down. I should probably recorded a video already.
I think he's got them. I think he's got pre-writtens in general, just for grime. Like
Someone has to
when he
step
needs
in.
to go in the booth.
Someone has to step in and stop this. I think it's going to be like Drake and Pusha T, where Drake would have gone mad, but someone said, "Nah, you don't cross that
Do you know
line."
what I wanna
I think
see?
sooner or later, someone's going to tell Stormzy like, "Don't lose it all for this kid. Like, don't do that because you do that, the white people are going to see you as all this Cambridge stuff you've been doing. It won't work anymore.
He could
can't
win. He could win
cross
like
that line.
that. He can say, "Oh, I'm more for the youth and this and the black culture. All you want to do is bring another
Tear
black man down." Yeah,
I thought Black Lives Matter.
Man's doing superheroes video, you know.
that's what I'm saying. He's doing the whole superhero thing.
Yeah, someone's gonna tell him like you're gonna lose that image of you, and we can't lose that. I like what Stormzy brings to the game. I can't lose that.
Or if Stormzy tells us the reason why he turned up to man's yard and it's something other than ways, then
Say something
the
about his
whole
mom, then
thing
it's something else.
changes. It switches.
Yeah, if it's like man mentioned my mom, then we know. Or if it goes mention my mom and I'm riding out, I get it. No one
And
can
there's
say
some
none.
screenshots as well.
Yeah, this is screenshot.
So I look forward to this battle, and I think it's gonna be one that's gonna go down. And like everyone needs something. You can talk about the greats, and you can talk about their battles. You can talk about the gets and the bashi. You can talk about Boy Better Know, Nasty Crew. You can talk about what they've been through. And I think this is good for Stormzy because Wiley, no one's counting Wiley right now because Wiley was drunk when he did his thing. So I think Stormzy surviving Chip could go down as their thing. And in the future, hopefully they make up like what Jay-Z and Nas have, and it's a beautiful thing.
This is definitely Stormzy's legacy. It's not Chip's.
Yeah. No, Chip's is enough.
You're right. Yeah, sure.
To fetch.
This is Stormzy's defining moment within the culture.
Chip needs this more than Stormzy.
Nah, Stormzy needs it more. Like for the culture.
Stormzy doesn't need anything. Stormzy doesn't need nothing. He's making millions. He's the most sold.
Bro, do you know why? Do you know the reason why? Do you know the reason? Stormzy could have ignored Chip as the bigger artist if he didn't go at Wiley earlier in the year.
Yeah.
Now you have to keep that same energy. That's the problem.
That's why Wiley's smiling and happy because he got the ball
him out.
rolling.
I don't see the same energy, Big Mike. Big Mike, I ain't seeing the same energy, Mike. Wait.
Wiley didn't want to win. I knew.
No, Wiley wanted to win.
He didn't really. I don't think he really wanted to win. He just wanted to rattle him. That's what Wiley
I
wanted.
think it all comes down to my original point.
Wow.
Chip, why did you go at Stormzy to promote your mixtape?
Yeah. Fine, that's
the only way to do it, man.
That's the thing. So when I say Chip needs this more than Stormzy doesn't need to do that to promote anything. He'll be number one regardless.
Do you guys think? I don't think Chip cares about being number one. That too tough.
But Chip needs this for the mixtape to bang. If Stormzy was dropping a mixtape tomorrow, he doesn't need to go at anyone for it to pop. You see me? Because he's the king right now, unfortunately.
The king of grime, king.
But yeah, love it.
Anyway,
amazing.
so the point of this whole discussion is that Stormzy isn't invincible. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
That's not the point.
11:24.
That ain't the point. That ain't the point. The point is the most sold.
It's the most sold, the most cold, and I still get nothing.
Stop.